So Chuck Hamill, the owner of PITT OHIO, is very personally committed to sustainability, believes in its importance and its long-lasting value as being a contributor, not just today, but in the years and decades to come. So certainly, he's been a driving force in terms of making us re-examine everything we do with the sustainability lens on it. And it's really this idea that we've always focused on quality, and as we started to understand the different aspects of quality and kind of peel back that onion, sustainability really emerged as the key factor that really encompasses everything. So we really use sustainability as an umbrella to drive all of our quality processes, the ones focused on our employees, the ones focused on our equipment, and the ones focused on operating the company well. So what does sustainability mean for a transportation company? It's really all about reducing your carbon output. And in our world, 92% of our carbon output comes from our trucks. So we're looking for ways to operate our trucks more efficiently, improve our load factor with the trailers, reduce our empty miles with the trucks. And it's all part of this vision to reduce the carbon output, to be a good citizen for our communities that we operate in, to be a good employer for the drivers who work for us, and to do right by our customers. We sum this whole thing up in terms of talking about sustainability in terms of people, planet, and profits.
So we worked with two professors at Duquesne University, Dr. Robert Schruff and Dr. John Mawhinney, and they helped us figure out all of the sources of carbon and where the sources of data were. Then they helped us build the carbon calculator, and now every month I just pull all the data together and there are calculations behind the scenes that give us a total carbon number. I actually developed a dashboard off of all of the numbers, and we publish it once a month to our steering committee, solely based on sustainability, so we can see the impact our projects have on the actual bottom line and the actual carbon emissions. And that also goes to the president, and he likes to see what the impact is.
I've been with the company for almost 14 years, and we started a recycling program just because we wanted to. It was the right thing to do. The owner supported. This is the right thing to do. We've always had the thought process of we want to be good stewards, we want to be good partners. We participate in community outreach programs, we do highway cleanup, and it's just a really nice way of doing things. We have geothermal in this building, which is extremely efficient. It's extremely efficient for a couple reasons. We could get into the engineering and how it works, but really it has to do with the insulation and how tight the building envelope is. And we just opened a facility out in Phoenixville. And you do learn, as you do this, you learn different things, and you say, well, we went with the most efficient heating source in geothermal. So what did we learn? We learned that it was very efficient. We learned that our envelope needs to be tight. And in Phoenixville, we even went with a larger insulation. We're talking about Harmerville right now, but prior to Harmerville's inception, we had started a sustainability program years and years and years ago. We have a facility in Trenton, New Jersey that's 100% powered by the sun, completely solar powered. And like we discussed earlier, the one problem you have with that type of project is storage capacity. And how do you store it? If you did have storage capacity that would be able to maintain the panels, you would be able to clip the electrical power from that building.
Well, I think as a company, we've always been on the sustainability forefront, even before it was a cool thing to do. I think just from, as you say, the proposition from a business standpoint, it makes good business sense. When we buy equipment, we look at a good mix, a healthy mix of equipment as far as tractors and straight trucks, and PITT OHIO does something really unique in the industry as far as our commitment over the years, even before I worked here, just with ownership, on their election to go with straight trucks versus a tractor-trailer configuration. So in general terms, tractor-trailers get just rough terms 6.5 miles per gallon, which is carbon footprint left behind. And even before it was a cool thing to do, we were into a high ratio of straight trucks that get roughly 10 miles per gallon. With the amount of fuel that we consume in a given year, it's prudent on us to watch every gallon we purchase and make sure we put it to its fullest use, and we get pretty much wring everything from that. We'll probably run $50 to $60 million worth of fuel this year again, And those incremental, those little small changes that we do through driver training, for example, a handful of years ago we decided as a company that with the rapid technology changes in trucking, that most of the equipment drivers, if you will, that have come from past experience where their father's father basically had showed them how to drive a truck, we recognized pretty quickly as a company that there's a whole different set of training that needs to be applied to the way you handle and operate a truck today. I've been doing this for a fair amount of time, and I was early on taught from my father that you drive a truck in a specific way, whereas today, when you really look at the high technology associated with truck today, the whole thing is a whole different game. So one of the things that PITT OHIO had adopted early on is that we went out and we trained 1,400 drivers in a 3-month window where we went out and said, listen, we realize how you've been taught, but this truck behaves completely differently and you have to change your driving habits. Very successful with that in that first year after training. Our drivers had just really taken that and ran with it, adjusted a lot of their behaviors, and it's not easy to teach one of these seasoned drivers, experienced drivers, to try different things.